So we all know that anti-vegans are super sensitive. Like, they have become, like, for the past few years we've seen that they have become the new feminized victim culture, and it's actually easier to trigger alt-righters than it is to trigger, you know, social justice warriors. I mean, yeah, I assume that in the case of carnivores this is because of a lack of magnesium and an overabundance of calcium. That's just my hunch. But usually I wouldn't make a video about a troll comment, but this is the dumbest carnivore comment I've ever gotten. It's not the worst comment. Like, I have received threats, I have received like people telling me that I should be rotting in prison, you know. So this isn't too bad. It's not even the dumbest comment really. It's not even the funniest, but it's definitely the most triggered one. And it's a really good example for when carnivores tell you that vegans are emotional and overly sensitive. Well, this comment, you know, it sketches a different picture. And I just had to make a video about it. So it's related to this video of mine where I look particularly small, I guess. And this video starts with what I can only describe as a very passive-aggressive comment. Why are you shrinking so much? You stopped lifting and doing yoga now or what? So clearly a very passive-aggressive comment. Not exactly the thing you'd, you know, you'd confidently say to anyone but someone who you've known for a while. And, you know, but many of these people have very poor social skills. Not all of them, but many of these people come from an incel background. They start eating carnivore, or they, you know, they join any collective that they feel is empowering to their masculinity. And, yeah, in their mind, they are suddenly the man, you know. They get the same crazy ideas as a 16-year-old taking cocaine. They are suddenly on the top of the world and they can do and say whatever they want. And usually it takes a few months before reality starts kicking back in, you know. Yeah, no, whatever. I do think it's funny that, that he mentions yoga. Like, why out of all things yoga? I'm not exactly behaving on here as the spiritual type. Oh, by the way, don't worry about this. It's vodka. By the way, I've explained why I currently don't look as big as I usually do in this video. But yeah, this person clearly wanted a response out of me, and I didn't give it to him then. I mean, I'm giving it to him now. I mean, he's getting his own video. But I didn't give it to him then because, well, I'm on YouTube and I regularly deal with things that are way, way dumber than that. And if you know anything about carnivore trolls, the biggest insult you can make to them is when they try to insult you, is to just, you know, not respond to the insult. Because that's why they do this shit. Many of them do this because they're trying to get some stimulus. And if they don't get that, they become angry and they try to become aggravated by literally nothing. But yeah, I get this comment from Unlock the Power, and for the content of this video, you know, it doesn't really matter what he says, but it's clearly a snarly gaslight comment. And again, I leave what I would consider a very unresponsive comment. I mean, I've made an entire video about these comments, but that was to clear up a bigger problem. You know, this had to be addressed at some point anyway, so I'm doing it now. You know, for the record, what these people think about me personally, I don't care. I'm not concerned with that at all. But I leave this comment. Hey, you should come back to this channel in about a month. Got something pretty sweet planned for you carnies. Again, just a normal comment, not really addressing the insult, not responding to the insult, just responding to the person. And I'd say that no normal person would be bothered by this. But well, many anti-vegans are normal people. The first commenter just loses his collective shit, and considering his first comment, you know, taking that into account, taking that in context, it's pretty funny. Carnie's question mark, and I thought you were a bit more grown up than the typical childish vegan YouTuber. So this guy is offended because I said the word carnies. Like, if this much offends you, you really have an issue. This sounds more like the shit someone pulls who is either desperate to control a person, is desperate for a bar fight, or wants to get out of a relationship or something. This is not a normal human response to just saying the word carnies. Carnies is neither bad or good. It has no meaning of importance on any level. And even if I had said something like carn tarts or carnicucks instead of carnies, who cares? Yeah, I mean, wanna bet that this guy goes around vegan channels calling them veg facts or soy boys or whatever? I mean, apparently he thought highly of me compared to other vegan channels, so you can bet that I was getting the better treatment. Also, the typical childish vegan YouTuber? Yeah, right. I mean, why don't you go back to those mature carnivore channels? How are those carnivore channels anyway? I mean, these days, like, I'm not watching too much carnivore YouTube right now. Is Frank Tefano, is he still cosplaying in his videos? Is Bobby, is he still doing that deep fake voice of his? Oh, I'm Bobby, this is my real voice, everyone. Is Gator still a self-proclaimed psychopath who craves human blood? Yeah, good luck supporting those little angels. All those people, next to their obvious mental defects, they constantly insult vegans. And the way that they do it, it is nothing like calling them just veg tarts. They basically have a hardcore slander campaign on vegans. I mean, I've seen carnivores trying to get vegan channels deleted. I've seen carnivores trying to get even people kicked out of university and stuff like that. Like, those scandals are well known, so like, why are the carnivores trying to cover themselves up, like, as if they're like, you know, innocent little snowflakes that are just doing the best for humanity? You just shut the fuck up. You guys have deliberately tried to ruin people's lives. Disgusting. Like, out of all the carnivore channels, the only people I'd say behave like normal human beings would be Meteor Man, Derek Nance, and you used to have one guy called Sully Abu, who actually deleted his channel, and that's it. Other than that, it's a community of total clowns. I mean, plenty of likable people doing the carnivore diet on YouTube, but they typically do not create content. And by the way, it goes without saying that responding so emotionally like this to the word carnies, that unlike saying the word carnies, is actually childish. And also for the record, it was never my thing to come on here on YouTube and be super mature. I don't know where you got that from, but I mean, even the video you responded to is about 5 minutes of comedy. And some childish comedy at that. You know, my thing is more that I try to be reasonable with people. I try to see their perspective, even if I don't agree with it. And I think that alone, that characteristic alone, kind of sets me apart from all the other carnivores and vegans. You know, that's something that sets me apart from the crowd. So I don't even have to address the rest of this. The point is clear. But I will talk about it just for the sake of it. Maybe I can do this thing where I address an anti-vegan comment once in a while. I mean, it's very easy content. And, you know, it could be fun. Don't bother, your fits are boring and lame. So again, clearly emotional crap for feeling like being put down. And, you know, if you think it's boring and you just don't care, then just don't come back. The majority of people that come here to laugh their asses off, and obviously I'm somewhat good at that, at achieving that. Just look at your views after 5 years of making videos. Well, first of all, the best vegan channels right now are all smaller channels with about 10,000 to 20,000 subscribers. And in the time that I have been on YouTube, I've been inactive for about 2 years in total. And I would say that my earlier videos, like almost everything I did in the first 3 years or so, yeah, it wasn't really good. I agree with you. Like, it was only until like last year that, you know, I've really been amping up my production, at least quality-wise, not quantity-wise. So, you know, yeah, I've gained about 1,000 subscribers in all this time, where I've really not been doing a lot to begin with. Let alone had I been uploading like 4 times a week or something, which is something that I plan on doing very soon. I mean, you can bet your ass that this channel is going to see some growth. And by the way, the amount, you know, the amount that I've done now, I will emphasize this, the amount that I've done now and the amount that I'm planning to do, what I've done up till now, it's not even the warm-up. But yeah, you know, you don't have to worry about any of that. You clearly have better things to do than to watch this boring crap, right? Yeah, I mean, very funny comments. Imagine, you know, imagine being called a doo-doo ad and throwing an anger tantrum about that. Who in the right mind would do that? And a ketogenic is supposed to make, you know, a ketogenic diet is supposed to make you well adjusted, apparently. It's supposed to cure mental illness. And being called carnie is nothing like being called a doo-doo head. It's like if you'd call me a veggie or something. If any vegan would get even slightly angry about that, the anti-vegans would label that person severely mentally ill. And rightfully so. And, you know, again, I've seen way worse. Magnesium deficient anti-vegans can be way worse than this. Dialogue with them can become very ugly. But talking about at least this comment does address, you know, a bigger picture. Anyway, that's the video. See you all next time, and this is Machismo, I'm signing off. Goodbye.